Initiating broadcast signal in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I'm the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, it's all about the...
Booyah! What's up? It's your boy Joe, baby.
And to my other right, coming straight out of Krakoa, weighing in at 178 adamantium-filled pounds, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, if you didn't get that awesome reference that Alfonso gave us, we are going to be discussing Superman. In fact, we're going to be talking about the live action Supermans and who is the best Superman. So, in a very particular order, going in chronological order, going all the way back to 1948 to the most recent David Corenswet Superman, then we'll let you know our opinions on who is the best Superman. How's it going, gentlemen?
Really good, man. Really good.
Awesome.
Chilling.
Awesome.
No, wait, it's super.
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 So, you know, for me, Superman has been a character that for me has been like a love-hate relationship, right? Because he's overpowered. And so because he's overpowered, I always had trouble getting into Superman as like a comic book character. But then when I would watch Superman like on the big screen, whether it be with Christopher Reeve or a Brandon Roth or Henry Cavill, I always really liked the actor's portrayal. So in comic books, you don't need a Justice League, you have Superman. Realistically, in the Justice League, you don't need Superman, or you don't need Justice League because you have a Superman. But I always love what the actors did with it. And so Joe had a great idea, and I was like, hells yeah, Joe got a good idea, bro. Joe's cooking. So yeah, we're going to be discussing this. I'm pretty excited about this. Just overall, what do you guys think? Like Superman, have you loved him? Did you not care? What'd you think of him?
Me, I mean, I love Superman. He's such an awesome character. Yeah, he's a little OP. I think that's one of the biggest problems the movie's had with him is trying to find somebody that's, decent enough for him to fight, to give him a challenge. It's like Lex Luthor's a good villain because it's all psychological, cerebral, cerebral. But everybody else kind of just it's really tough. I like the fact that they have the kryptonite to even the playing field a little bit. Just like if you got jumped by a big guy, you're going to need a baseball bat. You got to get something to level the playing field a little bit. Everybody's got their kryptonite.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, his whole story, his upbringing, he's basically a little farm boy, raised right, corn fed, he's going to have that, larger stature than most, just because the way he is. And then the fact that he played it off as dorky, just to throw it off a bit. I think it's a good dynamic for a character, for a hero. And then of course, trying to relate to people who are like, basically when you're a god, try to relate to the people, the normal people, and live a life comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you gotta look at it this way: is the biggest thing that he has to fight and deal with is just being human and being accepted by other humans. I think that's his biggest obstacle that he always has to deal with. And I think that's people get tired of that because they want to see him have like a tough villain, but that's his biggest villain that he's fighting. Not to be the guy. And like us humans, I mean, we're nasty, man. You look at the world today, we're all nasty, man. Everyone's opinionated. No one agrees with each other's opinions, and you got a guy like Superman who's trying to do what's right every single time he steps out.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is I feel like over time they've definitely touched on that a lot. Back in 1948, we had this gentleman right here. Mr. Kirk Allen was dragging cars around and putting them in the parking lot. Um, were you guys familiar with the first big screen 1948? He actually, at the start of movies, kind of like the trailers, they used to do, little vignettes, number 10 with young Kirk Allen. Had you guys ever seen this dude before?
No,
I
I have
think
not.
I have in my mass, research and the internet and stuff. Of course, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen these because, everything's out there for you to find. And there are times when I just have to find things.
Yeah, yeah. If you look at that one too, it looks like it's a sweater. like,
Yeah.
like he's wearing a sweater. But like when it's black and white, you can't really tell, right? It looks like
Right.
it's tights because that low key
Yeah.
looks like a tight.
Yeah.
But it also it looks like it's a sleeve of a sweater. But like from
It
in
does.
1948, that's not a bad interpretation of a Superman costume.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, based on what they had to do or what they had to work with back then, like,
Right.
I got to give my boy some props, So,
Mhm. I mean, you got the
yeah,
hair and
absolutely.
everything, dude.
So, yep. So, there's the OG, the daddy that started it all, and I'm sure somebody will jump in the comments and say, no, it was fine. It was some other guy who I couldn't find in the research. But for the purpose of this podcast, 1948 was Mr. Kirk Allen. And then we had this guy. Now, for me, number one, this picture should be in black and white because I remember when this dude was, they were all reruns, okay?
Mhm.
And I remember this would come on, and
Right.
I was just so hyped, dude. All he did was fight common thugs, bro.
Yeah.
But that was okay, because it was
Mhm.
Superman, dude.
Right.
They
Yep.
were shooting at him, and they aimed for his chest. Dude,
Mhm.
I love this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so George Reeves, dude, was my first Superman. He made me excited for the whole concept of Superman. So,
Mhm.
yeah, this is my dude. I love this dude as far as, when he was doing his thing as Superman. That was back in like 1951 actually when he started doing his thing. So that's crazy. That's why,
Mhm.
dude, 1951, bro? I didn't even know they
Mhm.
had TVs in 1951.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like, how did it not? Like, I don't know if the comics in that time, if they did crossovers, but how do you not team him up with Adam West?
Right.
Like, they didn't even think
Oh,
about that.
dude.
I mean, they didn't even think like, hey, we should probably. Can you imagine that?
That'd have been sweet.
You know why? Because he was 1952 to
Okay.
1958.
Mhm.
Batman is what, 66?
66, yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes
So
sense.
maybe they just couldn't. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he just aged out a little bit too much. But,
Mm.
dude, that
Yeah,
would have been
he
sick.
he
Yeah, for
was
some
not
reason I
around
thought it was
in
kind of like
66.
similar on it. I don't really know the dates, but
It's just old.
Yeah.
I like you were saying, Duke's the way he would stand there, puff out his chest, and then shoot at him, and the bullets just bounce
You know
off.
why, bro? Because he runs.
Yeah. Sorry. So what I was saying was like he'd stand there, and the bullets would bounce off of his chest, and then the thug would run out of bullets, and he'd throw the gun at him, and Superman would be like, ah. He'd try to dodge the gun because you can't fix it. That was always the best.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't really do much as far as special effects, and I mean, what do you?
Yeah,
That's
even if the
kinda
gun's
tough in
rubber,
the
it's still gonna
50s.
hurt, hits you in the face, right?
Right, right.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
guess when we were
dude,
young, we saw these in
absolutely, dude.
syndication at the same time. You had Superman,
Mhm.
and then you had Batman. So yeah, to us, I mean, God, that was what well before our time,
Mhm.
at least 10, 15 years
Yeah,
at the
dude. Or
most.
so we claim.
So we
We'll
claim. Well,
yeah.
Batman. If you
Yeah.
do your research on the internet, you might find
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But dude, so yeah, I mean, at this point, this was my first introduction. Absolutely loved it. And then hopefully, as the slides go in order, they might be right. This dude came along, Christopher Reeve, dude.
Hmm.
What are your guys' thoughts on Christopher Reeve as far as what did he mean to you guys?
Dude, a man could fly. He was super. He was definitely super. I mean, these movies, even though like the villains were so comical and slapsticky, it was serious to me. It's like Superman just it took me to a place. It's like even looking past Lois Lane's stupid poem that she did in the middle of the first movie. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was great. I'd watch it every single time I could. It's iconic. There's no other way to say it.
Hmm.
Lois dropped bars in the middle of the.
Oh, can you read my mind?
Oh, I
Like
love
you're
that,
kind of
dude. That
floating in the sky.
that was so great, dude. It didn't make any
No,
sense.
none
Hmm.
whatsoever. And
It
he
was
goes, "Oh, by
okay.
the way, they're pink." Yeah, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Dude, I love Christopher Reeve, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say I didn't really care too much for Superman 1. I enjoyed Superman 2 and 3 more.
Three?
Superman 1, I was like, man,
What?
because it had Richard Pryor, bro. You don't like Richard
Yeah,
Pryor, bro? Come
I
on,
love
dude.
Richard Pryor. That movie
I
was
mean, I
so
loved it
cool.
just at that time. I really loved Richard Pryor, man.
Oh, me
You
too.
know, like I watched a lot of movies with him, with Gene Wilder, like Stir
Yeah,
Crazy. I watched that like 100 times. I thought that movie was great. And so, like,
literally.
I was a fan of Richard Pryor. So, like, to see him as Superman, and I just thought Superman was dope. I didn't care too much for the first one; I thought it was too slow. Second one has some villains in it, so I was pretty cool. I like that one a lot more. But I felt like out of all the Supermans, except for we'll get to the newest one, but I felt like his interpretation of Superman and Clark Kent was really good. Set the precedent on how to play the both, and at the same time, his Clark Kent being clumsy and acting like he doesn't really know what's going on, like a kind of like a nerd kind of
Yeah.
way. There's not that many Clark Kents that play that. If you go look, and a lot of them are kind of like serious and they're not
Yeah.
clumsy. But the newer one demonstrated some of that, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder with I love Christopher Reeve. Don't get me wrong, and you're right. Two was amazing with Zod and everything, but I wonder if we have a little bit of bias with Christopher Reeve just because that was at such a developmental stage of our life where it's like the fascination, the awe, the shock, and awe. It just
Hmm.
it was just ingrained into us, just like
Hmm.
Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. It was just so ingrained to us. So then when other things come around, I mean, it's a good foundation to have, in my opinion. It's a good
Hmm.
basis comparison. But I wonder how
Yeah,
much of it is biased just because of the time that we grew up and where it was.
you could say the same
So
thing about Michael Keaton when we did about Batman.
Yep, yep.
here's my thing on that, Alfonso. I feel like you're dropping bars, dude, because here's the thing about that period. That was the first time, in my opinion, that we were being exposed to like things being taken seriously, like things that we loved being taken seriously,
Hmm.
like Star
Sure,
Wars, bro.
sure.
Star Wars, the reason, like, bro, realistically, we were barely old enough to remember Star Wars, right? Like, if you, but
Hmm.
I remember Empire Strikes Back because,
Mhm.
dude, the special effects, seeing that, it wasn't for me, and it was just because it was so good.
Right.
I look at to Joe's point, Keaton's Batman or Star Wars,
Mhm.
or I'll say even Ghostbusters. It was the first time where it was like, wow, this is crazy. They're putting money into things we love
Yep.
and they're taking it seriously, dude.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But that
Like,
was a time when they would put money in special effects and had better stories. Now they just put a bunch of special effects in movies and the story sucks.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Just like
absolutely.
just like Mandalorian and Grogu. You couldn't come up with a better title than that.
You,
It's
you
like,
know,
bro, like you couldn't come up with a new Star Wars. When was the last time they had a Star Wars movie, bro? Rise of
since
Skywalker,
years.
right?
Yep.
And you're coming up with
Was
that
it?
movie. You're gonna name that. That's gonna
Here's
be
the
your. It's like, come on,
here's the thing
cuh.
about that. This movie I feel like is going to be a departure from the standard Star Wars because Star Wars movies always have the same logo. The Star Wars, the square, Star
Hmm.
Wars. This one, based on what I saw, has that little crazy Mandalorian
Mhm.
and Grogu thing.
Yeah, which is
I
fine, but don't try to throw the Grogu window to try to sell tickets to me,
and bro, I'm gonna buy it.
bro. It just looks like a Disney Plus movie.
Wow. We'll see. Well, here's the thing, bro. There, just having Grogu in the movie, to your point, that's gonna bring in all the kids, right?
Yeah,
Which means,
like Ewoks,
yeah. Well,
Jar Jar Binks.
you could have had me with Ewoks, but bro, I'm gonna reserve judgment. I'm excited for
Mhm.
it because I always want the opportunity for franchises that I love to succeed. If they
Mhm.
don't, I'm gonna call them out on it,
Yeah.
right? But I want the franchises I care about to succeed, even the Fast and Furious
And Matrix.
and Matrix.
Matrix, you're gonna need help.
I agree, bro. I agree. So let's talk about this was Superman Returns, and I
Yes.
feel like
Mhm.
this is just the it's like this it's the Superman movie everyone wants to forget because it
Mhm.
was just so out of place.
Right.
Brandon Roth or Routh
Wow.
is a great actor, cool
Mhm.
actor,
Mhm.
just not the guy for this movie. You
Mhm.
know, I feel like if you talk Superman versus Clark Kent, I feel like he's a great Clark Kent in that he can be a little bit quirky, but when it came to Superman, it was just like
Yeah.
I couldn't I couldn't get him.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
That was my exact opinion of him. He was an excellent Clark Kent, and that's about it. I mean, and they had one really good scene where he was just being shot with a 50 millimeter, and he
Yeah.
one just crumples in his eye. That was glorious. But I'll tell
Mhm.
you one thing: in the movie, he wasn't a great Superman. But when they did the Berlanti verse, when he wasn't actually even Superman in that. He was like Adam, the little shrinky guy. But
Mhm.
there was one episode where he did this alternate Earth thing, and he came in
Yeah.
as Superman. What's that timeline where he's older? He's got the gray in his hair. Dude, he was dope in that one. He was so
Yeah.
good. It was such a good redemption for him. But I digress. What do you
I
think, Joe?
mean, one could make the argument the writing made him bad. You know what I mean?
Oh
If
yeah,
if you had better like fight scenes and special effects, he could have been a lot better. But I think you already lost. I mean, you lost me when I watched it. It's like, so you disappeared for so many years, and you come back, and Lois is married and has a
The
kid, but it's your
Cyclops?
kid, and your kid's,
yeah,
So it's like, bro, like you're really okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get you couldn't pull any. Well, whatever. I digress, man. It's like Marvel all
yeah.
over again. There's so much content you could have pulled from a comic, and you decided to go with that one. I don't know what you guys were thinking, but as far as him looking at Superman, if you look at that picture you put up, it's like let's find someone that's similar looking to Christopher Reeves, but
Yep.
isn't Christopher Reeves,
Yep.
right? Like if you went to an alternate universe, what person would look like him, like a fraternal twin or something? You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it, bro. They went
Also,
for the look. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you think about that movie, what was the main antagonist? It was an island. It was an island. The whole thing was he had to fight an island. It's like the smoke monsters from what Lost and Fantastic Four. It's like smoke monsters were everywhere. And this one, it was an island. It was a kryptonite
yeah.
island that throw into space.
I don't even remember what that movie was about, bro. I just
Me
remember the
either,
first
bro.
part of like she's married to someone else and she has his kid.
That
Yeah.
movie
And
took Cyclops away from the X-Men.
Hey, well, something good did come out of it. However, we're going to talk about something good. Everybody loved, absolutely loved Lois and Clark with your boy
yeah.
Dean Cain, the Asian Superman, bro. Y'all didn't know he was Asian.
Mhm.
He snuck in. He said, "Ha ha, gotcha."
You know what's crazy is I love that show, but he isn't Superman, dude. Like you know what I mean? Like honestly, bro, like I enjoyed the show, and I'm gonna say it was because of Terry Hatcher, man. Like she,
Woo!
to me, I think she's my favorite Lois Lane because she was so beautiful, man, and she was Lois Lane, like to me, and That's the only reason I think I love the show, bro, because it was she was in it. If I'm gonna be honest, man, I didn't really think Dean Cain was a good Superman. He's all right, I guess. For me, they should just call it the Terry Hatcher show, bro. I'm all in, bro.
Mic drop, bro. Mic drop. Because that's it.
Yeah, that was it,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, everything you said is everything I thought about him and the show. And
Yeah.
you know Terry Hatcher, not my type. And
Mm-hmm.
dude, she's just so pretty, dude.
Oh,
That you're
dude.
like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, dude.
One of the
I'm
few
at-
that can pull off short hair.
Yeah. It's time to Google search her, see what she's looking like now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, don't do it.
You
Don't
know
do
what's
it.
weird? You know what's weird? In high school, people used to tell me I looked like Dean Cain. I'm like, I didn't see it. But here's a quick facsimile thereof. That's
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could definitely
I can see it.
So
Yeah.
I was a super. Yeah. That, you know, it's surprising. I didn't watch that show a lot, and it had everything that I wanted. You know, I love the rom-coms. I love the, you know, the tension there.
Mhm.
But I was very busy at that time with the people of the feminine persuasion. So I didn't have a lot of time to watch TV, and I was really bummed about it. And I keep meaning to go back to it, but not anymore.
I think it's on. What's it on? Is it on?
It's probably on a Max.
No.
Because it was a WB show, wasn't it?
Was
No,
it-
it was ABC.
No, it was ABC.
It was-
No.
Dang, Disney.
Is it on Tubi?
It's probably on Tubi.
I
Everything's
think it's on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi. I think.
Deuce would know.
Dude, Joe has never disrespected a show so much in his life. You're like, Max? He's like, nah. Disney Plus? Nah. Not something you'd have to pay for. Nobody
Yeah.
paying for that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it with a couple commercials in the middle.
It's not that. I mean, I don't care, dude. It's free, dude. It's Tubi, bro.
Tubi.
Yeah, bro. Love me some Tubi. Okay, now moving on to a Superman that I will say I did like, but technically, I don't think he was ever Superman. Tom Welling.
Somebody save. Oh, sorry.
To me, Tom Welling was kind of like the predecessor to the CW shows.
Mhm.
And I liked his Clark Kent.
Mhm.
But the problem with his Clark Kent is it wasn't Clark Kent. Because he wasn't goofy, he wasn't nerdy, none of that stuff. He was just some like confident kid who was on some Scooby-Doo mysteries with the girls, but he wasn't Clark Kent and he never got to be Superman. But I love this show, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I think he's considered like how Alf said that Andrew Garfield wasn't a good Peter Parker because he was cool and he could skate and he was like, you know, wasn't as nerdy. And same thing with this guy. Like, bro, I think I watched. I don't even remember the first two seasons. I think I might have watched it. I'm just like, bro, you're not gonna turn into Superman. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not about this, bro. I think I stopped watching it. I think finally they started doing what, season 9.
Yeah, the Red Blue Blur.
I think it was like 9, right? You said.
I don't know. I really don't know. But
I remember you were up on that, and you're like, "Oh, dude, he finally turned
I
into
was.
Superman." And then I looked, I'm like, "A trench coat?"
No, yeah, leather jacket.
Yeah. Man, come on.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Come
So
on,
it was at the
bruh.
end of season 10.
It's like Gotham.
End of season
Remember,
10.
let's do a
'cause
younger Bruce Wayne and never
Yeah.
become. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Well, the rule with that show
Yeah,
when they originally pitched it, they're like, okay, no matter what, this show, no flights, no flights, no tights, and that was the rule that they ran with, you know, from day one. And they, you know, you never. I think there was one time you got to see him hold the costume, is about it, like towards the very end. But I'd seen every single episode of this show. I love this show. It was your monster of the week, typical Scooby-Doo, Buffy the Vampire Slayer type thing. You had, and then you started to have all these different cameos of different either heroes or villains. You never got Batman. There was talk of Bruce Wayne in Gotham. You never got Batman, but you got Oliver Queen. You got Aquaman, and Aquaman was played by what's his name, Reacher. Did you know that?
Yeah. Alan.
Yeah,
Rickman.
Alan
Yeah.
Rick Richards. Yeah, Dude, they had some good stuff. It, it was a good show. Like I said, I really love those Scooby Doo type shows. And I couldn't stop watching it. I didn't catch it at the beginning. I had to catch up in syndication. I'm sorry, yeah, syndication and VHS and DVD, and finally I got caught up, and I powered through the rest of them as they came out. So I love this show. I love Tom Welling. I mean, Kristen Curick was amazing. She was such a hot Lana Lang. Well, he has things for people with LL, Lex Luthor, Lana Lang, Lois Lane.
That's another reason why I didn't care about it. I'm like, bro, you're gonna introduce someone he's never gonna be with, bro.
Yeah. But they had a pass. And then Lex Luthor, I thought Michael Rosenbaum did an amazing job as Lex Luthor. And then they even brought in Lionel Luthor, his father. So it's like you got to see why he was the way he was. So I don't know, man. I thought it was so well done. I enjoyed the heck out of it. What'd you think, Dukes? Man, he's just chilling. Look at him frozen like that.
Chilling like a villain, dude.
He's about to say something pretty important. There he is. Go, Dukes. You're on. Nope, no voice.
Oh, no voice.
Did you have a favorite cameo in Smallville? Oh, you didn't watch it towards the end, did you?
Nah, I think I watched like the first 2 seasons, and then I was like,
Well, I like the way that they had a Green Arrow, and I can't remember the actor's name, but he didn't, there was an Arrow show, but it wasn't him. Oh, it was Jason Hartley is what his name was. How do I know that? Teen Heartthrob, Jason Hartley. Now in that one, but even the guy who played on Supernatural, Dean Winchester, he was in the show. There was a Doomsday, I think, as well. Oh, yeah. That one guy. He does a lot of voices for Star Wars, and he has like a wealth of knowledge of Star Wars.
Yeah.
He was in the show. He got to be Doomsday for a minute, or like a good basic Doomsday. It's the stuff that happened with Allison Mack, man. That's so ridiculous. Did you hear about all that?
No.
That was his little reporter friend, the little blonde chick. She in real life, she like got together with this cult. She was recruiting people. It was bad. There was a lot of trafficking going on. It was.
Oh, she
is. If they ever did any kind of reunion, she is definitely not going to be a part of it because she's a bad man.
She ended up in jail or what?
Yeah, she did a lot of time. She did.
Oh.
You heard about Allison Mack Dukes? Man, I'd love to hear what he had to say about that. Yeah, I don't know, man. But Steven from the Cult Podcast, he was a big Smallville guy too. Like we had a lot of conversations about Smallville. Nothing good. Now we're back to the Oh man. Let's see. So what comes after Smallville? Who's the next Superman?
Henry Cavill.
Dude, the Cavalry. This was a specimen of a man, dude. He was everything Superman should be. The fact that the movies were a little dark kind of did throw it off. What's your thoughts on these, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, I guess there's a lot of hate, but there's loyal fans that like the Snyderverse, But, I liked him as Superman. I thought he was dope as Superman. He was cool with Clark Kent. Again, more of like not the clumsy, nerdy type of Clark Kent, but, he was an okay Clark Kent. Yeah. But Superman was dope. I think this is probably the only Superman that kills, right? Just like Ben Affleck's Batman's the one that killed. Again, that's the Snyderverse, so
get a little dark,
right? So I mean, I liked him, and I would have been okay if they kept him as a Superman. But right. I mean, I get that they don't want to use him anymore, and they want to start someone fresh and someone new, as Superman.
Right. Yeah, that was the same thing, man. I really liked Cavill as Superman. His he did lose it a little bit as Clark Kent, in my opinion. I don't think he was a very good Clark Kent at all. I mean, it was just I don't think he had the right writing for it. I think that Snyder only focused on Superman killing, being stronger than everybody else. You gotta really get in there with a little bit of Clark Kent too, because you got to understand the character.
Right.
but I think if they just brought him over and they put him as Superman in Corn and Sweat's, you know, stead in that writing, I think he would have done great. But I understand, you know, he's getting old. No, I'm kidding.
But I don't know too, because I think it's just Snyder. That's his version of it, right? And I
Right.
think, you know, like Gunn reads a lot of the material and he has a certain view of Superman and Clark Kent. That's why I think that his version is Clark Kent's a little bit clumsy,
Yeah.
uh, and then you have he's a good Superman too, man. Like he really nails the him being human aspect, and a lot of people were like, again, Alan had touched on it, like he's so powerful that when he gets any glimpse of him uh getting hurt, everyone's like, "Ah, man, come on, man, how can we get hurt?" And I'm just like, have you even watched Justice League Unlimited?
Right.
If you watch the show, which I should recommend, Justice League, and then they got Justice League Unlimited, but a lot of those episodes, Superman was getting his butt kicked, So it's like it's okay for it's an animation, but if you make it a full movie, and now you're questioning, well, how come Superman is? It's just people just keyboard warriors, man. They just have like, let me just find something that I want to talk about instead of what's good about it. You know what I mean?
They got Palpatine in their corner. Just release the hate.
Yeah,
they will follow you.
And I think that's why Gunn did in that movie, the little monkeys typing on the.
The thing, that was hilarious.
I got people talking smack about you, and that's just hindsight of people talking smack about his movie, and I think it's kind of dope. Like, that Alan always says bars. I mean, that's a bar right there. James Gunn just did a bar on that,
Yeah,
David. But you know what I found fascinating too is in Batman, what's dope and is considered one of the great Batmans is Kevin, and all he did was the voice, and he embodied Batman and Bruce Wayne. Where I say Superman animated, no voices are iconic.
No.
And so there's no Superman voice that we could even say, because I know when we did our favorite Batmans, Kevin Conley was in there. And we talked about, rest in peace, we talked about how his voice alone embodied Batman, right? And Bruce Wayne, where there hasn't been a version of a Superman in animated voice that embodied Clark Kent or Superman.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few notable mentions, like Tim Daly and Jerry O'Connell. They both did them for a long time.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum was Superman in the Lego movie, which is great.
Yeah.
Jack Quaid in the newest incarnation, My Adventures Superman. So, Jack Quaid from The Boys, he's the one guy who has no powers. John Krasinski played him as well. So they've got some pretty good names in there for him. Nick Cage played him.
But it's not Kevin Conley, man. Kevin Conley did a lot of those Batman voices, man. He's just so iconic.
Oh yeah, and it's like there's no one big standout one that it's like, oh, that's Superman. I mean, they all kind of do the voice, pretty much the same. One that reminds me is like there was this old Jerry Seinfeld American Express commercial where Superman flies in, like he can't save the day because Lois needs money. He's like, I got no money in these things, and Jerry Seinfeld pops out. He's like, he's got the American Express card. But what it was the guy. Oh my gosh, the one who played the Tick. He was also Putty in Seinfeld. Oh man, he does the voice on Soaring Over California. He's got an iconic voice, but I mean it's so over the top,
Yeah. I mean, what do you were you okay with them? We'll just talk about him now. Were you okay with them when they switched him with Tyler?
Tyler,
I'm bad at names.
When they switched who? Oh, you mean Tyler Hocken, the one who did Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
I saw him first in the WB stuff, and he was good. Oh no, not the one.
No, that's what's his name?
So this is Tyler Hocken on the screen right now.
Oh yeah, Tyler Hocken. I'm tripping. Yeah.
Yeah. So they brought him out in WB with Supergirl, and then that all split off, and then he did his own thing. It was weird because I wasn't a super big fan of his Clark or his Superman.
Yeah.
But the show was just so good, man. The show was really good. He had his two sons, he had his wife. And he died at the end, man.
He died of old age, though. I mean,
yeah, man, that was that was so good.
Yeah.
It was a story that was to completion, and I was very happy
Mhm.
with that.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that, like they were trying to compare that to the James Gunn Superman. The fun fact is, Tom Welling was offered that CW part,
Oh
but he
wow,
turned it down because he thought it was going to be like a one and go, and it ended
yeah,
up getting, how great would that have been?
that would have
Like
been
if he
nice.
would have just took that part and then he would have got his own series, and then you could have did another.
Yeah. Man. So out of all these Superman that we're dealing with, who's your favorite, Joe?
Um, I think
I thought
each
Joe
of
was
them are dope
frozen.
for its time. Period. For Superman. Oh, guess who's back? Back
Guess who's back?
again. Alan's back. Tell a friend.
So I'll
Yeah.
just say
Guess who's
I
back?
agree.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Nah.
With
Yeah, so I'll probably drop off in a second. But go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
oh no. I like the new Superman now. I dig him now. I
No,
like how it's a mixture of oh what?
no, I I like that he made me like Superman. Like it's
Hmm.
I liked Henry Cavill. Did we even cover Cavill? Yeah, we
Yeah.
covered Cavill. You guys
Yeah, we're talking
covered
about you. Hey,
Cavill.
throw in your 2 cents. Yeah, what do you think about Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill. I like Henry Cavill as an actor.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess he's a cool I guess he's a cool person. I don't know. Because I like him as a person. I like him as an
Mhm.
actor. But as Superman, I can't even remember him as Clark Kent. Like at all.
True. That's a good point, dude. I don't remember him as Clark Kent. That's a good point. Yeah. You just know if
Yeah.
when I look at him, I just see Superman.
Yeah.
He was a lumberjack, dude. That's not Clark Kent.
So, I mean, I liked his Superman. Like, his Superman is probably the coolest Superman ever. But once again, you have to have the complete package. You can't be, this or that.
Hmm.
And so for
Yeah.
that reason, he doesn't make the top of my list
Mhm.
because I mean,
Yeah.
dude's a great Superman, dude. Like,
Right.
wow, that's the Superman that is just powerful,
Hmm.
but also like he's not the leader of the Justice League,
Hmm.
but he is. Yeah, I loved
Hmm.
him as Superman, but overall he's just not well rounded enough.
Could we blame Zach for that? Could we blame the writing maybe?
Yeah,
Yep,
Because it was
absolutely.
focused more on
100%.
Superman as opposed to Clark Kent.
Yeah, yeah,
But but again, he also did he write Batman versus Superman as well?
probably.
Because I almost felt like Ben Affleck's version, he was able to do Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe he did better writing for that because you need Bruce Wayne more so than Batman sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like it's probably easier to write the billionaire than it is to write the nerdy guy. Because
Mhm.
a billionaire in himself is his own kind of mythical superhero we're never going to meet. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
we meet nerds every day, but you can write
Hmm.
anything you want about a billionaire. You can say that
Right.
dude like rides in on a magic carpet.
Hmm.
We don't know.
Right.
So yeah, dude. Ben Affleck, whatever. Yeah, they messed up when they didn't bring him back as Superman,
Right.
dude. I'm sorry, as
Yeah.
Batman, because
Right.
he was good at both. Yeah,
Yeah.
And little known fact, he did play Superman, or he played George Reeves in a movie called Hollywoodland. I think that was
Hmm.
early 2000s, and there was a part where he actually donned the iconic costume of Superman, and they were reenacting that part where there was a kid, and the kid had he went to go see Superman because it was one of the little things where you could actually see Superman, and he brought his dad's gun, and he's like, "Look, I'm going to show him you're real. Dad says you're not real, but I'm going to show him you're real," and that really happened. So it's like they reenacted that part, and
Hmm.
he did a good job with it, man. That was really nice.
that's cool, dude. Yeah,
Yep.
can't
And
leave out
Nicolas
that
Cage
aspect.
was in the Flash.
Yeah, that's true. They finally see and hey, we're going off topic, but big surprise, we're going off topic, right? So that was the problem to me with DC. They tried to put too much in Marvel to an extent, but like, oh, remember this one thing you read about in an article 5 years ago? It's
Hmm.
over here. You
Yeah.
know, like I feel like the problem with Batman versus Superman was Dark Knight Returns, in my
Hmm.
opinion, is one of the greatest, if not the greatest Batman story I ever read. But they tried to mash in the Superman story, and they tried to do too much. They're like, oh, we have this, we'll use this. Oh, we have this, we'll do this. And it created a thing where they just threw everything in and hoped something stick, and it
Hmm.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah. But you
absolutely.
know what? The extended version of that, it the scenes that they deleted made the story flow better.
Are
If
you
you watch
talking
the
the
uncut
Justice
version,
League?
yeah, no, both of
Yeah,
them.
really?
Even in Batman versus Superman, there's an uncut version, and oh, okay, that scene makes sense now. Because you remember when we talked about it, there were some scenes where like that don't make sense.
Yeah,
It kind of helps that scene flow through. It flows better.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I didn't know there was an uncut of Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on that actually.
I still haven't seen the Snyder cut of Justice League. I started watching it and I just couldn't, man. I know I got to
It,
power through it.
it's actually better.
It
I
is.
heard that's what I
It's way
heard.
better.
Yeah.
But you know
It
what
made.
though? Why do you getting fired? You see this? Oh, let me just make a better movie because you fired me because I suck, and let me be better. Well, how about you be better the first time, bruh?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's like when your girl leaves you, bro. You're like, I could be better, and then you try to be better, and then realize, like, you know what, dude? It's just the same thing. I'm out.
Yep, that's facts. So, is your favorite Superman Corn Sweat Joe?
Right now, I kind of yeah. I think because David for me does a good job at being Clark Kent and Superman, and just like the scene where he was telling Lex what being human is, I thought he did really well on that. You know, explaining, hey, even though I'm overpowered, I'm still human, and I have all these traits, but what makes me the strongest is me being human. And maybe one day you can accept that we're all in the same battle, which is dope, dude. Because you know, like in this toxic world right now, especially in the states, bro, we need something like that, bro. We need someone to say, hey, bro, let's just all be together, man. We ain't got to fight, dude. It's like a real live Bloods and Crips out there and politicians, bro. Like it's like, can we all just be cool with it, bro? Like without you getting mad at me, bro. Like like just be cool with it, man. Like it's just crazy to me, dude.
I'm not sure if Dukes is still laughing at Frozen. Oh wait,
Yeah,
he just did a Max Headroom.
yeah.
Oh man, we lost him
We lost him.
again. Well, tell you what, I'll go ahead and talk about my favorite Superman. Um, God, it's really tough because I do want to say Christopher Reeve because it
Hmm.
was the initial thing that just it brought everything to light for me. It's hard to duplicate.
Hmm.
I was very impressed with what's his name, Brendan Rouse. You know,
Hmm.
Clark Kent, but all that was it was just character of Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent. You know,
Right.
um, and then you've got Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill was amazing as Superman, but to me, it's still just a character of Christopher Reeves. You know,
Hmm.
man, it's hard to beat. You know, it's like with Man of Steel, you did have so much better technology and CG, and
Hmm.
it was beautiful. And even the way I like the way that James Gunn has Corn Sweat flying. The only thing that takes me away from Corn Sweat when he's Clark Kent, I almost said Christopher Reeves. When he's Clark Kent, is he's like 3 feet taller than everybody else around him. It's
Hmm.
so ridiculous. He shouldn't stand out that much amongst the crowd, and people will be like, you know, he looks like LeBron James walking in there in the Philippines. You know what I mean?
Really? That bugged you?
Dude, he's
Jimmy
so
bugged
tall.
Jimmy bugged me. I'm like,
No,
oh, so
Jimmy
now
was a
Jimmy,
pimp, man.
so
He
now Jimmy's
deserved
just
it.
gonna be a pimp all of a sudden, dude. Like, let's
Yes.
just, nah, man. Come
I
on,
love
man.
that kid. Come on.
Come
Wow.
on, dude. Guess
I
who's back?
Yeah, I didn't buy Jimmy being the chick magnet. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
did that.
whatever, whatever. I was like, dude, it bugged me too.
Hmm.
I didn't buy it, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
I, I just had to just move past that.
yeah,
Um,
same
I
here, dude.
I didn't notice Corn Sweat was like 8 feet tall. I didn't catch
Yeah,
that.
either did I.
So now before my Wi-Fi goes out again, because I don't know what's going on. Thank you, Time Warner Cable. Before my Wi-Fi goes out yet again, and I have to
It's,
do this jump start technique that I figured out.
it's the government.
Um, they're listening to the broadcast. Okay. Here's my initial dilemma going into this. George Reeves introduced me to Superman, right? So like that's my excitement right there, right? And then I look at Christopher Reeve, and I'm like, okay, well-rounded, um, and he was basically like that was my Superman for years, right? Then you have David Cornsweet, modern Superman that gives me the same feeling as Christopher
Hmm.
Reeve. Okay, now you guys brought up a good question before we went on air. Who's the best Superman? Who's the best Clark Kent? Almost said Christopher Reeve too, Joe. Or Alfonso. Okay. That takes George Reeves off the table immediately. Because
Hmm.
that brother was just like the only way he portrayed nerdy is he would take his glasses and go, mm-hmm. That's all he would
Yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah.
He was smooth. He had that hat. He's like, "What's up,
Yeah.
Lois?"
But he still looked
Yeah.
too cool, man.
Yeah.
Like Clark Kent was just cool.
Exactly. So he's off the table. George Reeves is gone. Now Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve is my dude, right?
Hmm.
The problem with Christopher Reeve is Joe and I are going to have to disagree. It's like the Matrix in reverse. I
Hmm.
liked 1. 2 was a little bit worse, even though, bro, you're right. You pointed it out. 1 was long and boring, bro. It was both long and boring. Okay, so you're right. But as it went along, it got progressively worse for me. So by the time they did 3, even Richard Pryor couldn't save it. Now, here's
Yeah.
the thing that I like about Corn Sweat. He gets me excited about Superman. He makes me like Clark Kent, and
Hmm.
he's not in a movie that I'm put off by. So I'm going to have to go Corn Sweat because I
Hmm.
like him, I like everyone, and also I just think that the movie that he was in, I walked away with a smile on my face.
Right.
And I haven't gone to the movies and done that in a long freaking
Hmm.
time, dude. So that's
Yeah.
my vote.
I second that. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I respect
Nice.
it. I respect it.
See,
Hey,
you got caught up with nostalgia right there, bro. Like he's like, oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna get caught up in it. Just you, bro.
Which is cool, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's nothing wrong with it.
ultimately,
It's
I
still a good
love,
pick.
yeah, absolutely, dude. You can never go wrong with, well, Superman 3, bro.
I like Superman 3. He had Richard Pryor, bro.
Hey, that probably invented the whole thought process for Bitcoin. You take that
Yeah,
half a penny that nobody calculates, right?
Hmm.
because that was when he was
Yeah,
hot, bro. Like Stir Crazy
yeah.
was dope. Booster Million was dope. You know what I mean? I was
Bruce
like,
Willis was
man,
so
bro.
good. You mean I'm
It's
not
funny
white?
how we didn't mention Superman 4.
Quest for
Oh,
Peace.
with
Yeah.
Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say it's been really exciting running through all this because
Mhm.
for me, literally, like, I'm not even exaggerating. Childhood all the way to current day. That's what we
Mhm.
just did. And I really appreciate you guys for like Joe's idea. It was Joe's idea, and I didn't expect this episode to make me as happy and have as much impact as it did. But I remember getting excited. I'd have to back in the day there was a thing called antenna, okay? And you'd have to angle the antenna just right to get channel 6, Okay, except I
Yeah.
think it was Channel 5. So in order for me
Mhm.
to watch Superman, George Reeve, I would have to get
Mhm.
that antenna just right. The excitement as a kid, all the way through walking out smiling, dude, I'm going to go to sleep with a smile on my face, even though I do every night. But I'm going to go to sleep with an even bigger smile on my face. So thank you guys. Like this,
Yeah.
I've had so much fun. Even though
Same.
Great,
I,
Same.
great
yeah,
episode.
cool.
Yeah.
This actually concludes this very super episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, I am NWO.
We are NWO.
Nerds redefined. Super.